A deal between South African Airways and the SAA Pilots Association has finally been sealed. This follows the in-principle agreement earlier in July with a 94.9% majority vote in its favour. In terms of the deal, SAAPA members will be retrenched according to their current salaries. Overall, this is still below what they would be entitled to under the regulating agreement. SAA Pilots Association chairperson Grant Back joins me now for more. Grant, it's been a long time coming. Is this a good deal for you?
Yes, Jane, I think it's definitely the best deal under the circumstances. To go back a little bit, and it has been a long journey. We haven't been paid in 16 months. We've been locked out since the 18th of December, and we've been on strike since the 1st of April. Since the onset, the company had adopted a starving us out, pretty much, not having paid us what they owed us from 2019, not delivering on many promises regarding monies owed in the past. And then, of course, the lockout happened in December. So 16 months is a long time to go without a salary. And I think for us, really, as I said earlier, this is about the best deal we could get with the amount of time we feel we had left for our membership.
Do you think more pilots' jobs could have been saved if it was done any other way?
Jane, that's a great question. Thank you. I think definitely. We had come to South African Airways when the business rescue practitioners were appointed back in December of 2019. We looked at various options, for example, furlough, which many other airlines around the world have used. The benefit, of course, of furlough is that pilots are put out to pasture, so to speak, and then if and when they're needed in the future, they're recalled to the company. Now, if SAA is going to grow, and which I think everyone is expecting, certainly from the shareholders' perspective, that they're going to grow, they're going to need pilots going forward. This would have been a way to definitely save jobs, furlough instead of retrench. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened, and many of the initiatives that we felt we brought to the company, and especially to the business rescue practitioners, was not listened to. This is absolutely not a great day for Labour going forward, considering we had 750 pilots at the onset, and now we'll have just 88 pilots remaining in South African Airways version 2.0. So, yeah, Section 189, which is a retrenchment process, calls for mitigating job losses. I definitely think this could have been done with saving more jobs going forward. And unfortunately, I think the motivation behind this was to get rid of the old guard and start with a clean slate approach.
All right, so what happens to those pilots now who don't have jobs, do you think? And tell us a bit more about the airline and what you expect to happen to it.
So, Jane, I think a lot of pilots, and if you look globally, when COVID hits, about 50% of the global pilots were unemployed, and I think probably 20% of those pilots, maybe more, will never come back to aviation. It depends on how quickly things ramp up, and I think there's continually challenges with COVID going forward. But I think the majority of the pilots at South African Airways are going to find it hard to get work going into the future. A lot of our pilots have looked abroad, getting licenses for Europe, trying to pick up a wave there when things start recovering in the next year or two. And as far as South African Airways' future going forward, that will depend really on the strategic equity partner and the level of expertise and management that Gideon Novik brings to the party if that deal actually does go ahead. So it really will be up to the new management team that gets put into various positions at SAA, from commercial to routes planning, aircraft acquisition, etc.
Okay, and the pilots believe they've been very busy over the last week helping people out, moving foodstuffs. Tell us a little bit more about that.
They have, Jane. It's amazing. We obviously have been through some very difficult times. And it's not just South African Airways pilots, it's Express pilots. Mango pilots haven't been paid now in 3 weeks. And really everyone is doing the best they can under the circumstances. And, in the last week, if you look at the relief effort, and not only from South African Airways Pilots Association pilots, if you look at SAAPA, which is the Airline Pilots Association of South Africa, which is the umbrella for all the airlines, the amount of work and dedication that's come from every single aspect, not only from the commercial side, but I was watching a video today of a farmer who've flown in and offloading goods, which has all been donated. So a real amazing effort from aviation in general in South Africa, and a hats off to everybody, really. It's been a remarkable show.
Well, Grant, thank you very much for talking to us. Glad that you've finally been paid.